The Hawks are literally 1 week away from media day, and what would it be without just a little bit of drama? Because this is genuinely insane. No, seriously, this is genuinely insane. Yet another article has arisen saying that there's a blockbuster trade idea that sends Trae Young to the Houston Rockets for somebody who once was a first round draft pick, third overall. And again, I understand how some other teams would like to get some type of hope going into the season, especially how the Hawks are definitely going into the season right now, almost being a favorite in the Eastern Conference to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially becoming an NBA Finals contender, if you will. So I understand other teams are definitely attempting their best bet to poach or pull Trae Young away from the Atlanta Hawks. And yes, one of our listeners definitely said in the comments that until the Atlanta Hawks decide to sign Trae Young to a long-term deal, these are going to happen more and more and more, and they're going to become more frequent headed into the season. Again, 1 week away from media day, so you already know that things are about to get ramped up. You guys are going to definitely see more of myself and Chris Tip more, and things are definitely going to get ramped up because the season is almost here. So with all that being said, let me go ahead and just get things going. Let me welcome everybody to Hawks Digest, because my name is Walter Pollard and this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, because we have a lot to, well, not a lot, but we definitely want to dive into this situation because I just can't see it, honestly. And again, like the listener said once before, until the Atlanta Hawks decide to settle on a number, until these two sides can come together and have an agreement on what it is that they plan on paying Trae Young and what Trae Young is willing to agree to, these are going to definitely come up. And I'm also looking and finding out that if they can't come to an agreement and Trae Young decides to just opt out of this option that he also has, this last year, 26, 27 option, to, play under 1 year or whatnot, he could become a free agent and the Atlanta Hawks would get nothing for Trae Young. So definitely would love for the Atlanta Hawks to go ahead and settle things with Trae Young and get things going. But before we go any further, let me go ahead and just get into, my people. Thank you all for subscribing to Atlanta Hawks Digest. Thank you all for hitting, again, we're at 2,688 subscribers. So definitely, I appreciate that. You guys have definitely been there for myself and Chris Tillmore. Hey, and listen, for those of you that are subscribed, we definitely appreciate it. Those that are not subscribed, that is perfectly fine. We know that you guys see it. We know that you all see it, and it's awesome. Listen, you want to get in on the ground floor because the season is right around the corner. This is season number 2 for me. Atlanta Hawks Digest is actually hitting 1 year in November. And again, we have hit some major, major milestones with you guys, and we appreciate everything. We appreciate everything from you guys, and we definitely would love to get into it. Now, talking about my man Trae Young, of course, he's been in the news all week. Him and Pat Bev have definitely gone back and forth. And the good thing about this situation, no, not that Trae Young had to even, open his mouth or say anything to Patrick Beverley. Honestly, his play has already shown what he has done. And also, too, Patrick Beverley has been a gnat, if you will, in the NBA. He has been very pesky. He's definitely gotten on a lot of people's nerves. And then given the fact that he have a podcast microphone in his mouth doesn't help the situation one bit. But the fact that NBA players and former NBA players and NBA superstars have come to the defense of Trae Young, basically saying, listen, Trae Young does not have a thing to prove to Patrick Beverley. Trae Young has done his job. And again, the Atlanta Hawks can go ahead and get a deal done. Things will be on the up and up, and we can definitely see ourselves with this superstar going forward. And again, this team is locked and loaded for the season coming up. Now, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Now, a potential trade that could send Trae Young to the Houston Rockets in exchange for, get this, Fred VanVleet. Yeah, I can't say it right because it's like it's a tongue twister. But Fred VanVleet Reed Shepard, Clint Capella would be also returning to the Hawks, Tari Eason, and multiple draft picks. Now, yes, Trae Young does require a lot of that, and of course, this would make sense for the Houston Rockets, be that they've already brought in KD, and they're still trying to make a push for the an NBA Finals berth or a playoff run or whatnot. And also too, I think they're trying to justify bringing in KD and offloading a lot of young talent. I know though they sent Green to the to the Phoenix Suns to get KD. So of course they had to trade a lot of young talent to get KD in, who unfortunately, in my opinion, is getting a little long in the tooth. And then adding Trae Young to that would almost justify it for the Houston Rockets and make it seem as if they still have a chance going forward. Now, to the list of guys that they would send to the Atlanta Hawks, Fred VanVleet, who is an NBA champion, who has traveled from the Toronto Raptors. He won it with Kawhi Leonard. He definitely was a presence there, and then now he is with the Houston Rockets and things of that such. Let's just get something out of the way. Fred VanVleet has a torn ACL and will more than likely be out for the entire season. So, again, that already kind of acts out this entire equation anyway. But they do find themselves. This article definitely explains that he wouldn't be the main draw. Of course, Reed Shepard would be somebody that could add depth to the Atlanta Hawks. Tari Eason is also someone that is mentioned in this article that could also add depth to the Atlanta Hawks, while Clint Capella returning to the Atlanta Hawks would add some type of veteran presence, if you will, and help someone like a Reed Shepard with the Atlanta Hawks. I like Reed Shepard, but I don't think that this would necessarily be conducive for the Atlanta Hawks going forward. Listen, this is something that, again, it's just out of whack. And again, these trade rumors are going to continue. These trade rumors are going to continue, and this is just something that doesn't, again, I don't find it to be amusing. You dig what I'm saying? I want for the Atlanta Hawks to go ahead and get the job done and sign this man, because what we have coming into the season, this is something that I know Trae Young wants to stick around for. I know for a fact Trae Young wants to stick around for this, but he also needs to get paid. And again, depending upon how the season will start, definitely will lend to what can possibly happen going forward. Now, reading just a little bit of this article, it basically says that for the Hawks, adding Reed Shepard, who is a third overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, would give them a solid young guard as a replacement for Trae Young, who showed flashes of being a key player during his rookie season in Houston. Also, Eason would also give the Atlanta Hawks another solid young player to build around, with Clint Capella reuniting with the Atlanta Hawks. And again, I've already said all of these things, which is fine, but again, Fred VanVleet is one of the main draws in this trade proposal, if you will. And again, he has a torn ACL. And if I don't see the Atlanta Hawks willing to wait for him to repair the ACL and get better and be able to play. I don't see that happening. The Atlanta Hawks are a win now team. If you haven't been watching the NBA or been paying attention, these Atlanta Hawks are a win now team. And so these trade proposals definitely disrupt what the Atlanta Hawks are trying to do, almost insinuating that the Atlanta Hawks plan to screw over Trae Young and basically leave him hanging because either he's asking for too much or the Atlanta Hawks aren't offering enough. Again, this is absurd, and in all honesty, I just can't see this happening whatsoever. But on a better note, 1 week from now, the Atlanta Hawks will be having their media day. And from the media day, I know that, let me get that. September 29th, the Atlanta Hawks will be having media day. Training camp will start, at UGA. down in Athens. So again, things are going to be on the up and up, on the up and up, and the season is vastly approaching. So again, like the listener said once before, the Atlanta Hawks need to go ahead and sign Trae Young just for my sanity so that we can end all of these trade rumors and stuff like that. Also, again, first preseason game is October 6th versus none other than the Houston Rockets. So there's a lot that is going to be happening and coming to you guys through Atlanta Hawks Digest within the coming weeks. And then, of course, in November, the season is underway and things get ramped up for the Atlanta Hawks. So I am super, super, super excited, super geek for things to get popping because, again, these Atlanta Hawks are a win now team. And with all of these different trade proposals, let's just go ahead and just dispel it right now. With these trade proposals, it basically says that, hey, you don't necessarily have to win right now. You can trade away Trae Young, save you some money, and possibly add a project or add somebody that you would like to develop in the, for the near future or whatnot, or have a future team. No, that's not what we have right now. Okay, Kristaps Porzingis was brought in. He's confident. You dig? Luke Kennard has been brought in. Nickeil Alexander has been brought in. All these different pieces have been given to the Atlanta Hawks. Not given, but the Atlanta Hawks have gone out and gotten all of these pieces to win now. So it'll behoove the Atlanta Hawks to finish the drill, get Trae Young signed to a long-term contract, and we can get some things rolling. And hopefully within the next year or so, we can be talking about a potential NBA Finals appearance or even a championship. Yes, a championship. So my name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. And like usual, man, I'm signing out. Peace.